Basically, my professor said the interviews can be anonymous, which is like to
Mm-hmm.
respect everyone. But I do need like nationality and age for
Okay.
information.
Nationality, I'm Canadian
Mm-hmm.
and I'm 23.
Okay, thank you. And with that, we can begin with the interview. Mhm. Okay, so about motivations and expectations on your side, how did you discover fan edits?
I discovered them sometime in high school, so around like 2018, because I still do watch like a lot of TV. And I discovered them on Instagram, I remember. This is like way before like TikTok was a thing. So, Instagram editors, I would like save them to like folders in my Instagram account, and I would think that that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So you will say that's what motivated you to start making videos when you saw them?
Yeah. hmm But I didn't start editing until like 2 years after that. So, because I think for a while I was just like moving pictures to music was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When did you, I guess, if you did it like 2 years later, like what made you make that decision?
I think okay because I started editing March 2020, so that was when COVID started, and I was um in my last year of high school, and I was just really bored. So, and it had been something I wanted to do for a while, but I didn't know how to start. So with the pandemic, I had like some time to like sit on my computer and actually like go through programs and see what I can make on my own. So I think it was just that, like the fact that I had like a lot of time, a lot of free time, and a lot of creative energy that I just needed to put out, but I couldn't do anything about.
Okay, interesting. And what do you hope to express when you edit a video?
Um, I do a lot of ship edits, so it's always like a couple. So I feel like I really do express like romance and love and just a lot of excitement that comes with being in love, I think that's what my edits really lean towards. I mean, I do non-ship edits too. Like I do like character edits, but very rarely. So I think mainly with my edits, like the main message genuinely is just like love can be found anywhere kind of thing.
Oh, okay, that's sweet. Do you consider that editing is like a creative outlet to you to showcase some part of your identity or personality? In what way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great creative outlet that I didn't realize was a creative outlet because it was sort of a medium that I hadn't learned about in school or anything. So it was a medium that I found completely on my own, and I sort of figured that this is how I can express myself. But also, it's not fully about like expressing myself. It's also just about um, what is it? Just watching a show and then being able to interpret it. I feel like it's as much as it is expression, it's also a form of just media literacy.
Mm, mm, okay. So, in your experience, have you ever edited a video to process a personal situation such as grief, anger, falling in love, or anything else?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started editing in 2020, so it was definitely to process the pandemic and just being alone all the time. But also even now, I'll edit just to like get away from all the stress or just edit because I don't want to deal with something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you would say that your relationship with the original material that you edit, like, do you engage with it as a fan or from a more critical personal perspective?
I mean, I like to do both. I like to approach things as a fan, but I do like to be critical of the things that I like, the source materials that I edit, because again, TV shows, they're not made by like perfect people, you know, so you have to like, you can't be like, oh, um this is absolutely perfect, and this is like absolutely like politically correct, or this is absolutely like the height of everything. So I think it's good to be critical of the things that you love
Mm-hmm.
and the things that you're like a fan of.
Okay. On to another topic more about um, technical stuff. Do you use a specific software now? How much do you really care about the technical side of editing?
I use After Effects, and I feel like the technical side is like kind of important to me I because After Effects was like a huge learning curve with it, and I feel like the technical side is also kind of cool to me because I was never someone who was like good at technology or anything. Like I've always been like okay at it. But I feel like with editing, it's like I feel like I've learned a lot more about um just programming and just things that I feel like a lot of other people wouldn't if they weren't editing, you know, or they would learn from like a computer science degree instead.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wait, what are you studying?
Wait, repeat the question, please.
What are you studying?
Oh, I'm studying business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, global
Um,
management specifically.
hmm, nice. What are your favorite transitions or effects?
Um, my favorite transitions are always. Oh, I don't think I have one. I like a lot of zooms, like zoom ins and zoom outs. That's what I use in my edits. I feel like those are really simpler. They're very simple, but you can always like play around with it, and you can kind of use them across the board. So there's like a bit of room to play around with those. That's why I think I like them.
Okay. How do you feel your edits are different from other styles or creators within the fandom or community?
Um, I think I like to do more of the older 2017, 2018 style editing because that's kind of what I grew up like that's what got me into editing in the first place, and so many of my friends within fandoms also like to do that style,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's always been something that I like to do that sort of makes me stand out from like other editors and fandoms who sort of do more TikTok styles where it's like shorter audios, simpler transitions, more like sharper colorings. That's like not never been too much my style. So I think what makes me stand out is like the older, more transitiony, more like longer, more voiceover kind of edits.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what steps do you usually follow to create a video from scratch?
Oh my god. I download a song that I want to edit to. I mean, like I have like an idea, right? And I download a
Mm-hmm.
song, and then I um cut the parts of the song that I want to use, and I usually layer the audio, so I'll like do multiple parts of the song layered on top of each other. And then I'll find the beats, I'll mark the beats in After Effects, and my entire editing process takes place in After Effects. So like I'll put the scene packs directly into After Effects, and I'll like come up with an intro first, and then I'll do colorings, and then I'll do text as I'm going, and then I'll do transitions as I'm going, and then I'll pick a couple more scenes and then repeat, and then I'll do a loop. And then outros, I find it somewhere along the way where I'm like, okay, I used most of these clips. Maybe I'll use a clip that I haven't used um from this show and like another part. So I'll do the outro somewhere along the way. And then in the end, I'll export it to Media Encoder and I'll render it into an MP4.
Mhm. And how do you choose the content that you're going to edit, like scenes, characters?
Um, I think it's just, I don't really choose it. I think it chooses me. I think it's just whatever show I'm watching at the moment, if I'm really like feeling it and if there's like a community for it, I think I'll edit. And right now I'm doing The Pit, which is the HBO show. That's been going on for a while because I've just been editing couples from that show all summer. And I think it's because I don't know, like, is it because it's like my favorite show ever? No, it's just because I really connect with some of the characters on there, and I think I've also made like a lot of friends in the fandom, so that's also a factor. So like, if I have someone who like asks me to make an edit, I'll be like, okay, I can make that for you. You know, I don't do it all the time, but it's like
Mhm.
if someone asks, I will. But other than that, it's just mostly things that I really like, and if I have an idea that's just kind of stuck in my head and won't go away, I'll put it down into an edit.
Okay. And how important is the music that you choose?
Um, it's always been super important to me because I like when the music lines up with the characters and like the audio and like the visual storytelling. I feel like the visual and the audio kind of go hand in hand. And I started by doing really detailed sort of edits where the music would sort of tell most of the story over the audio. I mean, sorry, over the visuals. So I feel like when I pick an audio, it's like very important that some part of the lyrics line up or like some part of the song lines up with what's going on in like the show or like the couple that I'm editing, you know? And I feel like it's like important. And also I like to be wary of the artists that I use because I don't want to use like an artist that I just genuinely don't like. And also with audio, it's just like whatever music that I like listening to. Like sometimes I'll just make an edit because I really like a specific part of a song and I just want to listen to it on loop, so I'll just make an edit.
That's okay. Um, so that goes to show that you're relating the music to the message of the video or the characters. Do you
Mhm.
also kind of relate it to your emotional state sometimes?
I mean, when I edit, it takes me a while, so I'm never in one emotional state as I'm editing. So no.
Mhm. Okay. And do you usually have a clear idea of the message before you start editing, or do you discover it as you edit?
I think I like to have a clear idea of what I'm editing beforehand. Like yeah, like the specifics of it I'll find along the way, but like if I make an edit, it'll be like what kind of what direction am I leaning with this one? You know, like is it going to be like a very like soft and like happy one, or is this going to be like a very like angsty one? I feel like I have that going in before, but the specific clips I'll use that will I'll find along the way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And on average, how long does it take you to edit a video? And how do you decide when it's finally finished?
It takes me a while because I get distracted really easily. If I like sit down and really like grind, I can get like a proper transition edit done in like 2 days and then rendering or whatever. And I think I'm finally done when I'm like, okay, this looks good. Or I don't want to sit with this project for anymore. Let's just put it out there.
Mm, okay. Has your editing style changed over time, and why do you think that is?
Oh, absolutely. I started with because again, I feel like also the technical side has played a huge part because I use After Effects now, but when I first started, I was using like Wondershare. So I feel like the transitions were everything was like pre-built. It was all presets in there. So I learned the basics of editing, which is like finding a song, putting the clips, lining the clips together, doing the voiceovers, being able to like send a sort of clear cut message and communicate it. I feel like I learned that. But then once I got After Effects and I started learning the more technical side of things, where it's just like, this is how you do transitions, this is how overlays work, this is how you can use an adjustment layer, things like that. I feel like my edits, they got a little worse before they got better because After Effects, like I said, huge learning curve. But I feel like over time it's definitely gotten better. I feel like when you watch my first edit from like July 2020 to like now to like July 2025, I feel like the 5 year difference is huge. I feel like it's very obvious.
Oh, okay, okay. And like, I think that's a new one. I haven't heard anyone said Wondershare. Is it like a computer app, or is it like just for cell
It
phones?
was on like my laptop. Yeah, I think it was a computer software.
Okay, interesting. Mm, okay, on to another topic, which is sense of belonging. Have you ever been part of, or are you currently part of, any editing or fandom communities on Instagram or other platforms? And what is your experience like?
I mean, I'm not part of like editing groups or anything because I feel like I really missed the wave when that was popular. But I do have editor friends in my fandoms. Like right now, like I said, I'm in like the Pit fandom right now, and also like the industry fandom right now. And I feel like I have like editor friends who can help with stuff, but it's not like we're not like a community. But it is. It's sort of a community in the way that like if I need anything editing wise, I have friends who can help me. And if my friends need anything editing wise, they can come to me. So it's like it's less an editing community and more just a community who happens to edit, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. And so far, you've only like been part of this community on Instagram, right? Not other.
Yeah, Instagram and mostly Twitter, because I'm mostly on Twitter. On Instagram, I just come and post my edits and then I'm done. But on Twitter is where I like actually like talk and like hang out with my friends.
Oh, okay. But it's um you said that you discovered editing from Instagram, but I think there was also like some kind of era in Twitter where they discovered that they could do edits, I think. I don't know if you also witnessed that when everyone is when we were in the pandemic and people were talking about fan cams and then they become kind of edits over time.
I think wait, repeat the question, please.
Oh, I was wondering if you also kind of saw that in your time on Twitter, or how long have you been on Twitter?
Twitter I started around 2021.
Oh,
Yeah, I was on Tumblr before that.
okay. So you you probably didn't you didn't
Yeah.
see
But
the like the peak of fan cams, I guess.
I did. Oh, no, because here's the thing. I feel like fan cams came about when TikTok started and they got
Mm,
really popular in the pandemic.
mm-hmm.
Um, and fan cams, I feel like, what is it? I love doing a fan cam because I feel like they're very easy to do. Not that editing's easy, but it's just like, I feel like it's less rigorous than like a full on transition edit. So I understand like why people would do fan cams, and I feel like it's like a very good way to like learn editing because it's like what is it? It's a little bit entry level. So it's like very easy to like pick up on. So yeah, I would say I like saw like the start of fan cams like the when they were super duper popular.
Yeah, okay. Well, have you ever collaborated with other editors or participated in editing challenges or communities?
No, I kind of just edit whatever I want. So I've never really done like a collab.
Okay. And how much does the community influences your creative process? do you receive a lot of feedback, or do you give others feedback on their work?
Yeah, I mean, that's what like community is, you know, and I feel like I love like giving people feedback and I love helping people with their edits too, and I love receiving help with my edits. And I feel like the community response has always been really cool because it's like wow, like I made this thing and you care enough to like watch it and then tell me about it, you know? So I feel like that's always really interesting. And I feel like the community feedback for me has been great since the beginning. I feel like I've never had like a negative experience editing, which is not the case for a lot of people because a lot of people, it's like editors do get like really negative backlash on like a lot of stuff because of what they edited or like maybe because of the way they edited or like whatever it may be for like or it's just like random like no reason stuff, you know?
Mhm.
But I feel like for me it's been really good response for like even if it's like criticism it's like constructive.
Hmm, nice. Do you feel your edits are made for yourself, or for a community, or for a broader audience?
It's always made for myself because I'm the one who's gonna have to sit in an After Effects project file and then edit for hours on end, so I always like to do it for myself. But you know, sometimes like my friends will like ask me like, can you please edit this, I'll get you a scene pack. I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's always like mostly for me.
Okay. And are there other editors you admire and have influenced you? And if you can say their handles, their username, or and why?
There's so many. Hold on. You know what? Let me pull up my Twitter. Okay.
Mhm.
My favorite editor right now is my friend Joss, who's at FLKRMORE on Instagram and on Twitter. And also, I'm sorry, these are gonna be just pit editors because I'm just really big on the pit right now. And also my friend Trinity, who's May FVLDS, which is MAYFVLDS. Love her edits, and I feel like I have a couple more. There's also like so many other editors. There's oh my god, my friend Audrey, who's hold on, let me find her media for you. Let me find that media. Okay, the media is just MEOWSAMIRA. Super cool. Those are like my three favorite editors right now.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's always more because I have like so many editor friends who I love. Um, but yeah, and I
And
feel
do
like I do
you?
get like a lot of inspiration from them because what is it? We're all kind of editing in like the same fandom right now, so I feel like
Mhm.
it's really fun to bounce ideas off of each other.
Nice. Okay, that's basically all the interview.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes, I'll end the recording.
Mhm.